Good day, everyone. I'm Annie from One Connect Financial Technology, based out at Singapore, where the company's international business unit is located since second half of 2018. One Connect was set up by Ping An Groups 5 years ago and listed at New York Stock Exchange in December 2019. One Connect's mission is to drive financial service ecosystem, which is one of the 5 ecosystems that the group is focusing on in the past decades. One Connect has a strong track record at international market where we penetrated into more than 20 countries, accumulated with more than 100 customers outside of the headquarters. One Connect Singapore is a full office with more than 140 employees. Other subsidiaries under One Connect Singapore are Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, and recently this year in UAE. We focus on 4 key solutions, namely digital identity verifications, including the technology of biometric solutions and AI. Secondly is smart lending platform for both retail and SME. Thirdly, digital banking. And finally, insurance technology, InsurTech. Today, I'm glad to have the opportunity sharing with you an interesting topic of open banking ecosystem, which is closely related to one of our focus solutions, digital banking. Open banking is changing industries. A proactive engagement with major participants are key to financial institutions. Let's start to look at what are the key values open banking ecosystem will create. First of all, banks look upon cross-selling of relevant services and experience through ecosystem to expand the scope of primary banking relationship in near future. Secondly, banks also expect more than 10% of their incremental revenue are generated through ecosystem plays in the next few years. Thirdly, banks expect ecosystem plays will help to reduce the churn rate by 10% through more meaningful customer experience. Now that we understand the values of ecosystem can bring, let's get to know the 5 key participants in the open banking ecosystems. The first, which is the most important, is customer of the financial institutions or fintech, who are the direct beneficiary of open banking services. Second, will be financial institutions themselves that provide APIs connections. Third, who are the regulators who supervise the ecosystem and ensure smooth implementation of open banking within their respective markets. Fourth are the fintech companies who use API to provide financial service to customers. Fifth is the API aggregators who aggregate several APIs and data sources under the hub, reducing the complexity of maintaining individual banks and third-party providers, TPP in short, connections. Open banking is the new global standard approach for openness in banking, and recently the trend is evolving from open banking to open data ecosystem. This is illustrated in the middle orange circle in the diagram. And this will extend the ecosystem to involve all industry players who generate customers' lifestyle data like transportations, energy, telco, government, healthcare, real estate, and e-commerce. The different enabling technologies in the open banking ecosystem fall under 8 broad categories, which can be seen provided by technology and industry player respectively in the market. Start with the technology player perspective, which are the fintech and API aggregator on the left-hand side of the diagram. They provide banking as a service, TPP checking, API connectivity for value-add data services, and even consent management. On the right-hand side of the diagram is from the industry players' perspective. The FI and regulator who will provide end-user solutions like fraud or risk management related solutions, open banking overall end-to-end enablers, etc. While building open banking ecosystem is essential, banks should be aware of the challenges related to creating and maintaining such ecosystem. This range from choosing and managing the right partners to resolve difficult issues related to the organization's marketing, technology, and even security. The bank that get all these matters right will be well positioned to attract and retain customers based on values, convenience, and most importantly, trust. In view of that, there are actually 4 key factors to consider when building open banking ecosystem. Starting from the very first one is customer value proposition perspective. You need to think about what kind of differentiating services will be created. Second, among the partner ecosystem, think about who can provide these services and data that you require. And as a step further, you need to consider develop different partnership models between strategic and tactical partners. As well, you need to think of having essentially having a means to effectively manage and monitor the partner ecosystem's performance. Now, third area, we are looking upon commercial scale and success areas. One need to consider if the ecosystem is going to generate volume and revenue in scales. Finally, from technology principle and data security point of view, what is the right technology framework can be used to drive scale, data sharing, and governed by security? It's important to stick to the principle of moving towards an API-enabled architecture, and banks need to take ownership of ecosystem security. One last point to take note is we need to equip the ecosystem with intelligent marketing capabilities, as well as setting up an agile ecosystem management organization from a business architecture perspective. Now, looking into our own example, referring to our own digital banking ecosystem that we have been collaborating with FIs in the market, FI strive to be the one-stop solutions provider for digital bank. Other than providing all the essential services and technology that the FI need to launch a digital bank, it's important to build the digital bank ecosystem by having pre-integrated connectors with other ecosystem players. This will be like those that highlighted in orange shape in the diagram. And this can drive up, because this can drive up the business volume and reduce time to market for new products. On top of that, we are working with other TPPs, which is illustrated, those in light green in the diagram, to offer a complete digital bank ecosystem in the market. Now, from technology perspective, this diagram has shown our complete flow and framework of digital banking solution with highlights on the critical modules required in operations. Starting from an end-to-end mobile front end with authentication engine for digital applications. Second, moving on to an interactive portal and capabilities that can be provided to the bank's branch, middle office, and even back office. Digital lending services is actually a very good example to illustrate such capabilities. Third area that we're moving on to will be having an agile and API-driven digital core banking systems for fulfillment and services purpose. Lastly, through connection with partner ecosystem, we can better manage disbursement and payment network. As you can see, one of the key components here will be Open API. It serves as the centralized integration hub, bringing standardization across the technology for the digital bank. Some examples of these technologies are payment hub, card management systems, credit assessment engine, fraud and risk management, document management, data and analytics. From the ecosystem partner perspective, the integration involves third-party aggregators like utilities, telco, bills, all sorts of transaction history, etc., and very important, key data platforms. Other than Open API, the others enablers in our digital banking solutions involve biometrics, for example, facial recognitions and voice print recognitions, OCR for documents, AI, machine learning, blockchain, cloud computing, and cyber security. With the emerging of open banking ecosystem in the world, this new competition also brings along better user experience, more insight from data analytics, and improved service or product for customers. In view of this trend, some banks just complied to the regulatory requirements, while some banks are forced either to be innovative themselves or partner up with the fintech third parties in order to remain competitive, or better still, overhaul the entire business model. There are three key business models that I wanted to share today. So the first one is actually bank as a TPP themselves. In this case, bank owns customer touchpoint and focus on providing product or services. A TPP is actually an authorized online service provider exit outside of the banking relationship, but involved in the online transaction. TPP can be payment initiations related or from an account information perspective. In this case, banks are not just looking to collaborate more with fintech companies, but to take the role of TPP themselves, who can leverage other players' data and services in the ecosystem to innovate new products and services in their offering to stay in the competition and strengthen the customer relationship. The benefit of this model to bank is they can engage directly with the customer, gain and maintain trust from existing customer base, plus they can actually expand customer base by connecting with other TPPs to create new services. Moreover, integrations with data streams from other TPP would enable the banks to better compare their services against those offered by their competitors. Lastly, bank can better control of vulnerabilities in these particular models. Now, the second model is banking as a service, BaaS. In this case, TPP owns customer touchpoint, focus on providing APIs and value-added services and distributions. The benefit of BaaS to end user include it improves accessibility and efficiency for end user, and yet incurring a lower cost for them to get financial services. As well, they can actually provide a faster transaction, which help end user to save time. They can provide more user-friendly interface, giving end user a single transaction interface instead of sending them all over the place to another service window. This will help to streamline process across the company and hence significantly improve overall customer experience and the willingness of end user to spend. On the other hand, the benefit of BaaS to banks include they allow banks to integrate external parties' products and services into their own offering through the advanced APIs that they have built. They can also enable banks to provide their customer with an end-to-end experience without having to build new products, just like the previous model. BaaS also provides a strategic opportunity for banks to monetizing their knowledge of end user spending patterns by offering value-added services to other FIs. The third model that I wanted to share today is bank as a platform, BAAP. It's a new financial model. In this case, bank and TPP own customer touchpoint focus on integrate ecosystem partners. BAAP enables TPP to build products and services for bank customers. TPP can extend platform functionality using APIs, while the platform itself manages data exchange and oversees authentications. This will actually ensuring compliance. And banks can build partnership and reach out to new customers, fulfilling their wish to break away from the classical pipeline business model. And bank can use the BAAP model to provide both a network of innovative products and services and the trustworthiness of a reputable institution like they used to do. For the ecosystem as a whole, the transactional data produced on the platform provide unique insight into the reality of each customer journey. The key use case that we have actually seen in the market where open banking has already gained traction are lending, personal financing management, business financial management, customer onboarding, and even payment. I would like to take this chance to share a few good examples that our company have fortunately came across in the region. First of all, is a digital financing platform at Guangdong for SMEs. And in this case, the business model is BaaS. This provincial platform is sponsored by the regulators, and they congregate financial institutions, which is bank, fintech companies, and even respective parties in the market onto the platform. It provides a complete digital experience for SMEs in China to obtain unsecured credit loan. And this particular credit platform also comes with multi-dimensional data under the regulations of the government with comprehensive credit assessment for SMEs in the country. This is achieved by bringing in all relevant data partners in the ecosystem to work together. The platform also provides other value-added services on the platform, like guiding SMEs in their core business and help SME to grow their business. This is facilitated by relevant service provider in the ecosystem for SME financing management. They can also promote product innovations for the FIs who have developed scenario-based financial products on the platform. Overall, the values of these platforms are, it can be a wide range of product, wide coverage, very precise information, and flexible regulations. The second example I wanted to share is actually a worldwide trade finance platform. In this case, the model is a BAAP. This online platform is initiated by Hong Kong MA and jointly operate with partners target to connect multiple international and domestic banks in the country, serving trade finance requirements, starting with domestic market needs. The platform can be expanded to cover cross-border needs by interconnecting with various trade platforms, customs, and even respective network in the worldwide, just like we.trade at Europe. The ultimate goal is to build a digitalized global cross-border blockchain-enabled trade ecosystem that can securely connect and consolidate data from different trade finance participants, perform smart matching, and cross-tracking of encrypted trade documents to detect trade frauds. It also can provide real-time tracking of transaction process and visualizing the entire logistics status. Third example is actually a regional trusted marketplace. And in this case, the model is also BaaS. This regional digital trusted cross-border trade marketplace enable SMEs to transcend beyond borders, and they can access new overseas market and transact securely with trusted trade partner on the platform using our digital government plus financial technology solutions. The platform initiated focus on between China and Singapore as a start. And it also connect with multiple ecosystem partners such as banks, industry, business-to-business platforms, global trade platform, etc. The platform also offers ecosystem of services and digital financing options to SMEs. It addresses SMEs' needs to expand their business from overseas and boost interconnectivities between SMEs in the region. The last two use cases I wanted to share today, both of them are using the model of bank as a TPP themselves. In the fourth example is actually a digital finance platform, and the last one is actually online lending marketplace for micro SMEs. Both platforms actually happen in the Philippines. Now looking at the digital finance platform, one of the top financial institutions in the Philippines own this platform, and they operate an end-to-end digital financing platform for consumer lending. And they connect to an extensive ecosystem of partners, including credit bureaus, telcos, e-commerce players, and payment providers within the country. They aim to transform the end-to-end experience for hundreds of thousands of consumers with digital omni-channel acquisitions. They also digitalize the entire loan applications process. They have AI-enabled credit decisioning to mitigate risk exposures. And they also have digital fund disbursement mechanism. Plus, finally, they have a payment acceptance as well. In addition, they actually enhance the API connectivity which is accessible to the bank staff, merchants, dealers, and customers. Now, why are they doing this? They wanted to digitalize an end-to-end financing journey, provide greater accessibility to credit and better customer experience in an effort to penetrate into mass market and better still promote financial inclusion to the country's unbanked populations. The key takeaways for today's session is open banking ecosystem refer to a digital partner community where access of customer data are provided securely to authorized parties through APIs to enable these players to build applications and services around it. The key to success include customer experience focus, innovations in product and services, open API architecture, relevant business strategy and operating models, data security, and finally, data analytics with AI. With that, thank you for attending the sessions today. Hope you have enjoyed the event so far. If you are keen to further discuss on this topic or find out more about our solutions, feel free to approach me directly or visit our corporate website. Take care and stay safe.